Elon Musk has enough money to buy Twitter with pocket change and still afford rockets to leave Earth when he gets bored. He doesn't spend money like a billionaire. He spends it like a bored supervillain. This is how Elon Musk spends his billions, and trust me, you'll start questioning why you even budgeted for groceries. Elon doesn't just buy houses like regular rich people. He buys entire neighborhoods. Back in 2013, this man dropped $17 million on a mansion in Bel Air. But one mansion wasn't enough for the Tesla CEO. He bought the house across the street for $6.75 million, and then the one next to that for $20 million. By 2019, Elon owned 6 houses on the same street worth $70 million combined, making him the weirdest neighbor ever. Imagine complaining about someone's dog barking and realizing it's the guy who could literally buy your life. But in 2020, Elon went through some kind of billionaire midlife crisis and tweeted that he was selling almost all physical possessions and would own no house. And he actually kept his word. He sold all 7 California properties for $128 million and made a $25 million profit like he needed the extra cash. The man literally made money being homeless. And homeless he was for about 5 minutes, until he moved into a prefab house in Boca Chica, Texas. But this isn't your average tiny home. It's a $50,000 boxable casita that's 400 square feet with a full bathroom, kitchen, and living space. This dude went from mansions to basically living in a fancy shipping container, but at least it's near his SpaceX facility. That's dedication to the job, or just another weird Elon flex, but the man couldn't resist property completely. In 2021, he bought a historic estate in Austin, Texas called Waterfall Mansion for $43 million. The 8,000 square foot home sits on the Colorado River with its own boat slip, pool, and yes, a literal waterfall. When you're worth over $200 billion, why have one home when you can have a collection? And speaking of collections, Elon's car garage has to be one of the strangest for a billionaire, especially one who runs the world's biggest EV company. You'd think he'd only drive Teslas, but nope. This man's got taste that's all over the place. His first big purchase after becoming rich was a McLaren F1 for $1 million back in 1999, a car that would now be worth $20 million if he hadn't totaled it showing off for a reporter. That's literally destroying a small fortune for a 3-second thrill. He's owned everything from a 1967 Jaguar E-Type worth about $140,000 to a Lotus Esprit submarine car from the James Bond movie The Spy Who Loved Me that he bought for $920,000 at auction. The crazy part, he actually planned to make it work underwater using Tesla technology. This man doesn't just collect cars, he buys movie props to turn into actual functioning submarines. Of course, he does drive his own products too. He's been spotted in the Tesla Roadster, Model S, Model X, Model 3, and Cybertruck. But the craziest Tesla he owns isn't even on Earth anymore. In 2018, SpaceX launched his original Tesla Roadster into space with a mannequin named Starman in the driver's seat. That car is currently orbiting the sun somewhere between Earth and Mars, making it the most expensive car in the solar system. The launch cost around $90 million, which is basically the ultimate flex. I'm so rich I can turn my $200,000 car into space junk. But cars are chump change compared to Elon's real passion projects. This man spent $44 billion to buy Twitter just because he could. That's more than the GDP of 108 countries. He renamed it X and fired most of the staff within weeks. Imagine spending more than most countries make in a year just to own a website where people argue all day. And that's still not the biggest check he's written. SpaceX is worth over $150 billion, and Elon still owns about 42% of it. Each Falcon 9 rocket launch costs around $67 million, and they've done hundreds of them. The Starship program alone has cost billions to develop. This man is literally burning money to reach Mars before he dies. Then there's the Boring Company, which Elon started because he was stuck in traffic and got annoyed. Most people just honk their horn when they're mad in traffic. Elon started a multi-billion-dollar tunneling company. Their first major project, the Las Vegas Convention Center Loop, cost $47 million just to dig some tunnels under Vegas. And what did he use to raise money for this company? Flamethrowers. He sold 20,000 of them at $500 each, making $10 million in just a few days, selling what he renamed not a flamethrower to get around shipping regulations. But it's not all rockets and flamethrowers. Elon also co-founded Neuralink, which has raised over $363 million to develop brain chips that connect humans to computers. The first human trials started in 2024, with Elon saying he'd eventually get one himself. Imagine spending hundreds of millions just to put a computer in your brain. Most people just buy a new iPhone. Elon's private jet situation is next level too. He owns a $70 million Gulfstream G650ER that can fly nearly 8,000 miles without refueling and hit speeds of 710 miles per hour. The interior is customized with multiple living areas, a full kitchen, bedroom, and shower. It's basically a flying mansion, but that wasn't enough, so he upgraded to a $78 million Gulfstream G700 in 2023 that's even bigger and faster. The craziest part about his jet use? This man flies constantly, sometimes taking flights as short as 5 minutes. His jet flew more than 150,000 miles in 2022 alone, burning enough fuel to cancel out thousands of Tesla environmental benefits. This dude sells electric cars to save the planet, while his private jet creates a carbon footprint the size of a small nation. Even his smaller expenses are ridiculous. When Elon moved to Texas, he didn't just rent some office space. He took over an entire floor of a luxury Austin hotel and made it his Tesla headquarters. The cost? About $100,000 per month. That's more than most people's entire house. And let's talk about his security detail. Elon spends about $2 million annually on personal protection. Tesla shareholders actually pay another $14 million per year to keep him safe. Most billionaires try to be discreet. Elon tweets controversial opinions to his 190 million followers, then wonders why he needs security. But Elon does put his money towards some cool tech. He reportedly has one of the most advanced home automation systems in the world. His house is run on Tesla Powerwall batteries and solar city panels, with everything from lighting to temperature controlled by AI. He basically lives like Tony Stark without the Iron Man suit, yet. Speaking of AI, Elon co-founded OpenAI with $1 billion commitment, then left the board and started his own AI company called XAI in 2023 with hundreds of millions in funding. The man literally funded the company that created ChatGPT, decided it wasn't good enough, and started a rival company. That's like ordering a pizza, taking one bite, then building your own pizza restaurant next door. Unlike most billionaires who collect art, Elon collects engineers. He's famous for poaching top talent with massive compensation packages. When he wants someone for Tesla or SpaceX, he's been known to offer millions in stock options and signing bonuses. His own compensation package at Tesla could be worth over $50 billion if he hits all performance targets, making it the largest CEO paid deal in history. And you know what's crazy? Elon doesn't even take a salary from Tesla. His official salary is $0. Instead, he gets paid entirely in stock options, which means he only makes money when the company does well. It's either the most confident or most reckless compensation structure ever, depending on how you look at it. But even with all this wealth, Elon claims he's cash poor most of the time. When he was sued for defamation in 2019, he testified that he was financially illiquid despite being worth billions. This man is worth more than some countries, but will tell the court he's broke with a straight face. That's billionaire problems on another level. When it comes to food, Elon's tastes are surprisingly ordinary. He once tweeted that he loves French food, BBQ, and whiskey, but his daily diet is as weird as he is. He used to drink 8 cans of Diet Coke and several cups of coffee daily. For a while, he tried to see how little food he could eat, skipping breakfast and sometimes lunch. This man has enough money to have Gordon Ramsay cook for him 24/7, and he's out here doing weird fasting experiments. One thing Elon doesn't spend money on? Fashion. Despite being one of the richest people alive, he usually wears plain t-shirts, jeans, and leather jackets. His entire wardrobe probably costs less than what most billionaires spend on socks. When you're that rich, looking poor becomes the ultimate flex. But don't think Elon's completely stingy. He signed the Giving Pledge, promising to donate most of his wealth in his lifetime. In 2021, he gave $5.7 billion worth of Tesla shares to charity, making him one of the largest donors that year. We just don't know which charities got the money because he donated to his own foundation, which doesn't have to disclose where the money goes. That's either extremely generous or extremely suspicious. famous, depending on how much you trust the world's richest troll. He's also given away millions through direct Twitter giveaways and random donations. Once, he sent $1 million worth of trees to YouTuber Mr. Beast for a planting project. Another time, he donated $50 million to St. Jude Children's Hospital after the Inspiration 4 space mission. When your checking account has more digits than a phone number, dropping $1 million here and there is like the rest of us giving someone $1. The most expensive thing Elon owns, though, isn't physical at all. It's his dreams. This man has spent billions trying to make humans and interplanetary species transition the world to sustainable energy and merge our brains with AI. Most billionaires buy islands and sports teams. Elon's trying to change the course of human civilization while tweeting memes and naming his kids things a keyboard would autocorrect. Love him or hate him, you can't deny that Elon Musk spends his billions in ways no other billionaire would dare. From launching cars into space to buying social media companies on a whim, his expenses are as unpredictable as his Twitter feed, and with a net worth that fluctuates by billions based on Tesla's stock price, who knows what ridiculous purchase he'll make next.